Samsung is getting ready to push foldable tech into a whole new era with the Galaxy Z Tri-Fold, a device that doesn't just bend once like the usual Fold lineup, but twice thanks to its dual-hinge design that lets it unfold into an expansive tablet-sized display. The company quietly previewed it behind glass at the K-Tech showcase in South Korea, giving us our first real look at the physical device, and although no one could actually touch it, that short glimpse revealed plenty. Here's what we know so far about the Galaxy Z Tri-Fold. When fully opened, the Tri-Fold's inner screen stretches to around 10 inches, while the cover display measures roughly 6.5 inches, making it practical for everyday phone use when folded. Despite its triple-layer design, Samsung has managed to keep the device surprisingly slim, measuring around 4.2 mm when unfolded, about the same as the Galaxy Z Fold 7, and around 12 mm when folded, which would actually make it thinner than some previous Fold models. The outer design doesn't stray too far from familiar territory either, featuring a camera layout that's nearly identical to the Fold 7, with the same vertical arrangement and subtle bump, suggesting Samsung is keeping its signature design language intact. To power that massive 10-inch display, Samsung is expected to use 3 separate battery cells spread across the 3 segments, combining for what could be a total capacity exceeding 5,000 mAh, possibly achieved using new high-density battery technology to preserve its slim profile. On the camera side, a 200-megapixel main sensor is said to headline the setup, bringing flagship-level imaging to the foldable space, while the rest of the sensors are likely to align with what we've seen in the Fold 7. There's even speculation about S Pen support, potentially enabled by a new active stylus design that doesn't rely on a traditional digitizer layer, allowing Samsung to keep the display thin without sacrificing precision. As for software, leaks from early One UI builds suggest Samsung has been fine-tuning its interface specifically for this Tri-Fold layout. One of the biggest upgrades could be the ability to run Samsung DeX natively on the inner display, turning the Tri-Fold into a true all-in-one portable workstation without the need for an external monitor. The multitasking experience is also expected to evolve, with support for multiple apps running simultaneously, and the familiar split screen and floating window features carried over from existing Fold models. App continuity appears to have been refined as well, allowing whatever you're doing on the smaller outer display to transition instantly and fluidly across the full expanse of the inner screen once you unfold the device. Even the home screen setup, from icons to widgets, can mirror across both displays, maintaining a consistent experience whether the phone is closed or open. The camera interface too seems to be getting a major overhaul, featuring animations that show a new secondary viewfinder and extreme zoom capability up to 100x, hinting that Samsung might be planning an even more advanced telephoto system. For a long time, many assumed the Galaxy Z Tri-Fold would be limited only to South Korea and China as a test device, but recent developments now suggest a much broader vision. The phone has now appeared on the Bluetooth SIG database with several different model numbers, suggesting preparations for a global launch. Among these are model numbers for U, S, and international variants, as well as South Korea and the Chinese market. Additional reports from reliable sources indicate rollout plans for regions like the UAE, Taiwan, and Singapore, hinting that Samsung could be planning a phased release starting in Asia, before expanding to more markets like the US and Europe later on, if the demand is strong. Anyway, while we're still waiting for Samsung to officially confirm the launch timeline, all signs point to the Galaxy Z Tri-Fold making its market debut before the end of the year. But remember, most of this information is based on leaks, patents, and insider reports. Samsung hasn't officially revealed anything yet, not even the name of the device, so take this with a pinch of caution until we hear from Samsung themselves. But rest assured, I'm keeping a close eye on every development and will report back here on the channel as soon as there's something new to share. So if you haven't already, consider subscribing to stay updated, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.